In other words, they fail to follow through in 7 things that they say they will do. Now, what causes this failure and what can you do to stop it? There are 3 reasons why some people make promises and they fail to follow through. Reason number 1, bad habits. Reason number 2, not setting clear priorities and values. And reason number 3, self-sabotage. Let me give you some examples of bad habits. Have you ever found difficult to manage your time? Have you ever waited until the last minute? Have you ever set up unrealistic expectations? Have you overcommitted and promised to do too much? Have you forgotten what you promised to do? Of course you have, and no doubt it has caused you more problems. Reason number 2, not setting clear priorities and values. For example, have you ever said that you will do something but never follow through? Well, the reason you didn't do it is because it was not a high priority for you. Procrastination is all about postponing priorities. Unfortunately, most people never recognize that. If something is important to you, you will do it. Reason number 3, self-sabotage. This is an unconscious trap that applies to everyone to one degree or another. Here are some examples. Have you ever talked yourself out of doing something? Have you ever done something that is against your better judgment? Have you ever stopped short of success? Do you want to keep your house clean, but do you buy a book, but instead of sitting and reading your book, you choose to watch TV instead of reading the book? Flushing prevents gum disease, but you don't flush on a regular basis. You were going to plant flowers in the spring, but you never got to it. Fresh foods are better tasting and nutritious, but processed food are easy to make and they never spoil. Do you belong to a fitness club, but you never attend on a regular basis and your belly is getting bigger? You do not praise your spouse as often as he or she deserves. You play golf, tennis, bridge, or something else, but your technique is lacking. You gave a talk or presentation, but you didn't prepare. You come home from work, and instead of taking a walk to rejuvenate yourself, you go for cookies, milk, and television. You want to take a class, but you never make the phone call. These are some examples of bad habits, poor priorities, and self-sabotage behavior. Success is to be measured not so much by the position that you have reached in life as it is the obstacles you need to overcome. Here are some techniques that will empower you to minimize this behavior and propel you to excellence. 1, be honest with yourself. The starting point of becoming your own best friend is for you to be perfectly honest with yourself and your relationships. For example, when something is making you unhappy for any reason, avoid the temptation to engage in denial or pretend that nothing is wrong. To wish, hope, and pray that whatever it is, it will go away and you don't have to do anything, it's not going to happen. The fact is that the situation probably will get worse before it gets better. And ultimately, you will need to face the situation and do something about it. Reason number 2, deal with your problem on a higher level. There is an old saying that you cannot solve a problem at the same level of consciousness that it was created. This means that wrestling with a persistent problem is often fruitless and frustrating. For example, if two people who are in a relationship are constantly fighting and negotiating and looking for some way to solve their problem or difficulties, they might be attempting to solve the problem at the wrong level. If you want to deal with a problem on a higher level, you need to ask yourself 2 questions. Question number 1, in terms of being happy, is this the right relationship for us? Question number 2, how long can you hold your hand in a bucket of ice water? It takes emotional fortitude to be open and honest with yourself, to be open to whatever information you need. Emotional fortitude gives you the courage to accept challenges, and number 2, it gives you confidence and enables you to deal with your weakness. To answer the question about the ice bucket, how long can you keep your hand in a bucket of ice water? 60 to 90 seconds. So if you're in a bad situation, get out. Thank you for watching. See you next week.